Hello friends, welcome to V.S.P.Law channel. Today's session we are going to discuss Supreme Court citation regarding domestic violence cases. This is a big case. So the case law is Prabha Tyagi versus Kamlesh Devi. Criminal Appeal 5/11/2022. So, in this case, maybe 35 cases were discussed by the Supreme Court while delivering the judgment. So, in which various High Court judgments and previous Honorable Supreme Court judgments. So this is very useful for the cases, domestic violence cases purpose. So especially on point of the wife, favorable points discussed by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So that Prabha Tyagi versus Kamlesh Devi. So under this case, we are going to discuss point wise. Mainly in this case, the Honorable Supreme Court clarified that domestic relations, existence of the domestic relations between the parties, and also discuss about Sridan, and also discussed about the monetary relief to the aggrieved party. So, first of all, what is the meaning of domestic relation? First of all, there is a domestic existence of the domestic relations, and then after only the constitution of the violence, domestic violence will attract. Without existence of the domestic relations, there is no constitution of the domestic violence. So that domestic relations, section 2 subclass F subclass S of the Protection from Domestic Violence Act 2005 says that the relation between the two parties who live or at any point of time lived together in a shared house when they are related by the marriage, or and one family lived as a joint family, that is that domestic relation. Generally, domestic relation is a relationship between the two parties by way of the marriage, by way of the adoption, etc. So that here, after domestic relation was existed, then if any violence caused against the aggrieved party, then only the aggrieved party can file a case, section 12 of the Domestic Protection from Domestic Violence Act 2005, against the other party, that is husband. So regarding this, we already upload a video, domestic violence cases. Please watch it. So come to the point. Here is that then the section 2 subclass F and subclass S categorically said that if a person lives or has at any point of time lived together in a shared house with the provision against whom the allegations of domestic violence made. The provision of the Protection from Domestic Violence Act 2005 will apply. So, in this case, we came to know that there is a 3 points, remember. That is that the aggrieved party can live with her husband, family members at any time of the after marriage. Even though single day is enough to constitute a domestic relations, and then after the violence against domestic violence will be attracted. So that, and also one more thing is that the death of the aggrieved person, husband died, there is no cease of the domestic violence. So it means the domestic violence case will be attracted if it is caused. And next is that parties must be lived in a shared house. In this case, a Supreme Court categorically stated that if wife lived with her husband after their marriage, even in one day, then there is a existence of the domestic relationship between the parties. If any violence caused against wife by the husband, then the law, the provision of the Protection from Domestic Violence Act will apply. It means at any point of time. Remember, this is the only case we'll discuss on this point only. At any point of time, if wife lived with the husband, then there is a existence of the domestic relations, constituted domestic relationship. Then the provision of Protection from Domestic Violence Act will apply. And at the time of filing the Protection from Domestic Violence case by the aggrieved party, that there is no necessity for subsisting the domestic relation between the parties. It means it is not a necessary between the parties about domestic relations. So this is very useful citation. The Supreme Court already given that, and also granted is 3 done. In this Prabha Tyagi versus Kamlesh Devi, then husband of the wife died in an accident, and wife filed a case against the father-in-law and his family members against as per Protection from Domestic Violence case. Then the court already granted 3 done. Here is that the amount given by the father of the wife. So that wife will claim property Sridhan from her father-in-law. It is a right, and also given a monetary benefits. So this is that. This is in this case we already discussed that 35 cases are there, very useful for the, in case of the domestic violence case is coming before you, you can refer this citation. It is very useful citation. Almost all points discussed by the Honorable Supreme Court along with High Court judgment and previous Supreme Court judgments in this case, and refer it. Thank you for watching. This is V.S.Patel, member of Supreme Court Bar Association, life member of the High Court Bar Association Telangana State and Andhra Pradesh, lives in Karimnagar, Hyderabad and visiting New Delhi. Please subscribe. Thank you one and all.